Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tahira Talibdeen and I'm the founder of Hearts Connecting. And Hearts Connecting is a virtual janaza and online funeral facilitation company. And we facilitate virtual janazas and funerals for those family and friends who are unable to attend in person. So today I want to share with you about the conclusion of the 4 weeks widows support group of grief recovery for Muslim women and women of faith. So today was the conclusion of our 4-week workshop, and today the topic was on next chapter and moving forward. And we focused on 4 categories, and they were healing through the grieving process, belief and faith, and how it assists in moving through your grief. We touched on the concept of post-traumatic growth. And lastly, in their name, honoring our loved one's legacy. So today in this video, I'm going to highlight post-traumatic growth and touch on 2 to 3 points on the topic of honoring our loved one's legacy. So post-traumatic growth is actually a clinical concept that's been around since the 1990s. And what post-traumatic growth is, it's a theory that explains this kind of transformation followed by trauma of a tragedy or a loss of a loved one, whether it's a child, a spouse, or a parent. Any form of trauma that one has experienced. And in this was, as I mentioned, it was founded in the 1990s, and it holds that people who endure psychological suffering following adversity can also find positive growth in their experience afterward. So this really highlights how when one experiences trauma, and they experience something that's so traumatic, that we go through this process where you spiral into your grieving process, and you experience that the depth of the loss and the sorrow, the sadness and the grief that you experience. I'm speaking specifically to death, right? Then you find yourself going through your waves of grief, as you recover and you heal through it, and aspects that assist and that anchor you and hold you up in your upward trend. Is part of that is your belief system, in your spiritual, your religious belief system, and your faith, and how you view God, and how your faith can help you move through this process. But as you go through the process, those who experience post-traumatic growth, they tend to experience deeper and more meaningful relationships with those who are in their lives. They seek deeper and greater connections with those who are in their lives after experiencing that death, because through death, it has a way of sobering you, and it has a way of putting life and priority into perspective. So you long for deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. And this brings out your value and brings forth greater value in you and connection and relations to other people. So what that does is it allows someone to grow and mature in a manner in which they would have never been afforded to had they not experienced that death of a loved one. So this concept is known throughout the psychology industry, and it's practiced throughout the psychology industry. And something else that we mentioned is how do you transition into the post-traumatic growth? So one thing you want to be mindful of when you are transitioning to the post-traumatic growth is that you want to embrace your natural response to trauma. So that means that first, you don't compare your experience and how you deal with trauma, i.e. the death of a loved one, to someone else, because we all are made differently. We all have different experiences, and we all come from different walks of life. So one who may be able to, we don't say bounce back, we say bounce forward. One may be able to bounce forward quicker than another person because you don't know what their background could be. They could be someone who deals with like a mental positive attitude, someone who can be who knows how to necessarily like seek out the healing process and understand their own personal needs and seek out the assistance and the resources to help them get through, as opposed to someone else may not be used to seeking out how to support themselves through their needs and through their experiences in life where they are met with setbacks and adversity. Also, one support system may look different. Someone may have a strong support system in their own family, in their own households, compared to one who may not have that support. So what we really want to emphasize is you want to embrace your natural response to trauma, however that may look. So if that means that your natural response to trauma is you want to initially be closer to your family and friends because that's helping you get through, versus someone who needs to spend more time to themselves and prayer and meditation and reflection, or someone who prefers to just honestly like sob for a month or 2 or 3 in their bed and watch Netflix and eat whatever they want, or someone who decides to channel that energy through physical activity, working out or walking or whatever that physical activity may mean. So everyone has their own natural response to trauma. And the thing is to honor your natural response and most importantly, not compare it to other people, because that's where we find ourselves going into a pitfall when we compare our pain or compare our natural response to trauma. Secondly, you want to share in a safe space where it's constructive and there are people who can honor where you are and not judge you for where you are, a space where you feel emotionally safe. And when you feel emotionally safe, when you share, you're not getting attacked for your thoughts and your opinions and where you are. And people actually understand where you are and they don't force their opinions or views on you. You can show up as you are, express where you are in the process, whether you are angry at the fact that your spouse is no longer here or your loved one is no longer here, or you are still dealing with the grief. You're still dealing with your grief at greater length than someone in comparison to you, and that's why we don't compare ourselves or our grief to other people. That's one of the reasons why. So finding that safe space, like such as the widow support group that we have here through Hearts Connecting, that's a safe space for these women to come and show up and cry about their loved one, or speak about their first time going to their grave site, or speak about the first time they experienced in their spouse's birthday while they're not here, or their first anniversary without them, or in more relevant terms, experiencing Ramadan without their spouse. Like, this is a safe space for the sisters to show up and to express this. And most importantly, the last point, and how to transition into the post-traumatic growth, is finding your strengths. Like, it's when you lose your spouse, there is a security and a level of strength and reassurance and protection that is just gone. Like, it's gone. They're not here to give us that reassurance or to guide us through our own processes. So it's important that we find our strengths, find what your strengths are, and allow that to anchor you. And as you build the pieces of your life back together. So whatever your strengths are, whether you are strong in gathering your family, or you are very generous, or your strengths are you are compassionate, or you are an organizer, or you are someone who is an excellent listener or excellent communicator, whatever your strengths are, you honor those things and you connect to them. And if you have a difficult time, like if you are one who's like, you know what, I don't know my strengths, I know all my weaknesses, I can give you a list of all my weaknesses, but I can't tell you what I'm strong at, then I would challenge you in a nice, loving way to jot down the things that you enjoy doing. Write down the things that people always compliment you on. Write down your successes in life. What were you able to succeed in? If it's your marriage, what kind of wife were you? Were you a patient wife, an attentive wife? Were you the wife who loves to cook and clean and wash dishes and wash clothes? Were you the wife who supported your husband in all that he did? If you're a mom, what kind of mom are you? Are you a patient mom? Are you an attentive mom? Are you a caring mom? Are you a giving parent or a sibling? Like, whatever people always appreciate what you do or who you are, those are clear signs that those are your strengths. So I'm going to conclude here, and I want to say that we are having the next widow support group will begin the first Tuesday in June. Excuse me. And the women who attended are welcome to attend again. And for those who know of widows, please share this video with them, and also follow us on Hearts Connected LLC on Facebook and on Instagram, and you will be able to keep updated on what is coming next.